Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piwowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most from the co-host with the most here on the Rundown. Two-way views, conservative news, and Craig. It's Throw Punch Thursday.
It is Throat Punch Thursday, and you know what I just realized that I did not do? I did not save the Throat Punch Thursday video up here. It ain't even up here, man. I'm not even ready for it.
All right, we're gonna give you some forgiveness. I see that bottle of Forster's sitting behind you. We're gonna call it. Give
Yeah,
you an alibi. A bottle of Forster's there.
there you go. You know what, folks? I apologize. That's just kind of the way it be. Oh,
And
here
for
it
you,
is. Here we go. Here we go. I found it. I found it. Here we go.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready? Throw punch Thursday, bitch. Guess what day it is? Guess.
there you go.
There
Throw
you
Punch
go.
Thursday. I love it. I love it.
I love it. I love it. Folks, today is the day in which, well, you know what? We just gonna take on some of these folks, some of the stupid, stinking thinking that is out there, which we do every day, but today we do it with a little extra gusto.
Yeah, it's that. All right, I'm fed up with your nonsense day. That's for sure.
It's like you people need to stop.
That's right. That's right. Hey, who are you saying you people to?
Yeah.
Just be careful.
What do you mean, you people? Good
Never go
stuff.
full retard. Yeah.
Never go full retard. Well, hey, folks, do us a favor. If you're watching us live, please make sure now. Just by the way, I'm asking you to be a little patient. We're both on remote, so both of us are in non-normal locations. So if there's an internet issue or a glitch or something like that going live, just do us a favor. Please be patient with us. Yep. Uh, and on that note, just want to make sure to note, give Mike the opportunity to give a shout out to our sponsors for today's program.
Yeah. To today's guest studio sponsor at Lion Arms USA. That's lionarmsusa.com. You can check them out there. Or what's the Instagram? What is it? Lion underscore arms. All the social media is lion underscore arms. Check them out there. Give them a call. Tell them you saw us here on the rundown. And they're going to give you a nice little discount for that. But you got to call for the discount. So make sure you do that. Let's also say hi to our good friends at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. You got yourself an AR in the past 5 years. You probably got one of their barrels and don't even know it. Well, now you can buy from them factory direct for your next AR build or rebarrel your current AR platform. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. They could take part in California's future today. Make sure you check out the California 6th congressional race while you're there. Talk to these guys on the phone today out at Hog Holsters. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, reach out to hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com. You get yourself a nice discount code. Use the rundown, all one word, all caps, no spaces, and get what you need there. He's running some great Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales, so check him out. And of course, if you want the best in tactical gear, you're going indoors, outdoors, hunting, camping, whatever it is, you can get everything but the gun at uscombatgear.com.
That That's right, folks. These are our sponsors. They bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. So do us a favor, do yourselves a favor, do them a favor. Visit them. All you got to do is follow the links in the description to this program. Go there, check them out. I promise you will like what you see. So then you can spend some money with them and make sure you tell them it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you. Also, remember, this is a live program, so go ahead and comment if you're watching us live. That's Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching us live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Rumble, or even on Periscope or Twitter, or X now is what it's called, go ahead and comment. When we get your comments, if we think it's something cool, something the audience should hear, we'll go ahead and we'll read your comments online. But we appreciate the give and take. Whether you agree with us or disagree with us, well, you should always agree with us. But, we always enjoy the give and take. So please make sure you comment. Encourage your friends to do the same.
Do the same. Yeah, exactly right. And we expect you to agree with me most of the time. Remember, Craig every once in a while gets a little California in him, so it's kind of hard to agree with some of the stuff he says. But for the most part, he means well.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just be clear. When they made the concept of Florida Man, they were thinking of Mike Piwowarski, which means that sometimes he is totally awesome and sometimes he is batshit crazy.
But both times it's acceptable in Florida. So
both are acceptable in Florida. That is true. Yeah. So true. So true. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into today's stories. This first story, maybe it may be a little old, but I don't think it's old because it actually happened just back in September. But it was something that I had missed because you didn't hear anybody in the mainstream media talk about it. Even in a lot of conservative media, they didn't talk about it. And it has to do with a case, and I heard about it here at the California School Boards Association conference, where a local chapter, a campus chapter in San Jose of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, they actually have, as a part of their pledge to be a leader within that club, you have to sign a statement of faith. And part of that statement of faith is that you believe that sex should be reserved for a man, women when they're married, right? Well, because that doesn't include people who are homosexual or people who are non-binary, the school district considered that to be discriminatory and revoked their opportunity to be a club on campus, which means you get a meeting room, you get to do fundraisers on campus and meet on campus and all of that fun stuff. Well, they sued the school district. And in the initial case, the district judge ruled in favor of the school district. But then they appealed it to the Ninth Circuit, the 3-judge panel, right? Now, in the Ninth Circuit, in any case, when you get a 3-judge panel, there's a chance. It doesn't happen all the time. In fact, it doesn't happen often, but there's a chance in which you can get a good 3-judge panel, right? And that 3-judge panel came back and ruled in favor of FCA, or the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Well, as always happens in the Ninth Circuit, if you win a victory in the 3-judge panel, they will always, the anti-conservatives or the liberals or the leftists will always then appeal it to what's called en banc. Now, in smaller districts, that means every appellate judge that's part of the appellate court hears it. In California, because there's 29 justices, it's a panel of 11. So it's not all the justices, but it's 11 of the justices. And lo and behold, in the state of California, an 11-judge panel actually ruled in favor of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Here, Fellowship of Christian Athletes score big Ninth Circuit win for religious liberty and freedom of association. Now, let me read a little bit of this here to you. It says, belief-based student groups won an important victory last week in Fellowship of Christian Athletes v. San Jose Unified School District, which restored the ability of many such groups to meet on public campuses and in public schools in many Western states covered by the U.S. Court of Appeals in the Ninth Circuit. Religious and other belief-based groups often limit candidates for leadership and sometimes membership to those who agree with or those who agree to a statement of principles. After that, it makes little sense to force a Muslim group, for example, to allow Christians or atheists to be its leaders, or for a college Republicans to allow Democrats to hold office in the club. Mike, what gets me once again about this is, and people don't understand how big this is, because their only next step in this case, the school district, is to appeal it to the Supreme Court. And what do you think if they happen to take this religious liberty case to the Supreme Court? What do you think is going to happen in particular with this Supreme Court?
Oh, you're going to get a 6-3 ruling in favor of the plaintiff is what you're going to get. The court will clearly side with them because it's a conservative court. And Craig, let me bring up a certain name again for all the friends out there that have TRS and suffer from it daily. The reason the Ninth Circuit, and I know, listen, we want to make this sound like the religious miracle that it is, but the reason this was able to happen was because former President Trump filled all those openings in the Ninth Circuit with conservative justices. So now they don't hold the majority, but it's a tight it's a tight comparison between the liberals and the conservatives there on the bench. So pull this 11 judge panel, you got a pretty good shot at getting a conservative panel, and that's what they did.
Well, yeah, and like I said, this is big because pretty much what's going to happen is they're not going to appeal this to the Supreme Court because right now it only affects the biggest circuit because the Ninth Circuit is the biggest circuit. It covers the most states, covers the largest population, but it is now precedent. So if someone wanted to sue in another district, they could then, it would go through the same process, and I'll bet you if they didn't win, and then here's the thing, if they didn't win, well, now you've got two competing rulings in two different jurisdictions or circuits. The Supreme Court would almost have to take up the case, and once again, we know what direction that would wind up going.
Yeah, so they don't want this. They're just going to let this lie. And I'm sure they've got attorneys general from many of the liberal states also now sending little notes to them saying, please, please, please do not appeal this.
Yes. Well, that's what happened with the case in D.C. dealing with the concealed carry permits because they got them to not take it to the next level because they knew that they were going to wind up losing once they lost there in D.C. and they successfully convinced them not to appeal it to the next level. Folks, this is a big case for religious liberty. And if you're watching this program, we believe in religious liberty. I'm not going to tell you what to think. Well, I am going to tell you what to think, but you don't have to believe it. You don't have to think what I think. But what I will say is that when you start making it so that you're going to single out groups, and that was one of the things I found particularly egregious was once again, they didn't go after Muslim organizations that violated these rules. They didn't go after other groups that had these sorts of requirements. They literally went after the Christian group that required it.
Correct. And you listen, see the results, right? The proof is in the pudding, right?
Yes, the proof is in the pudding. And anyway, so I'm just really glad about this. And like I said, not a lot of people know about this because, like I said, it wasn't reported in the mainstream media. You didn't see it. Think about this. This is now all of a sudden Christian clubs that actually, basically, you now can require that, hey, if you're going to be a leader in a Christian group, maybe you should be Christian.
Yeah, it might be, required, right?
Right.
It's and who knows else where this could go to, Craig? Could this go back to the whole, the Boy Scout, Girl Scout rulings? Can this go back to that now?
It quite honestly, it could. It most definitely could. That's if the leadership of those organizations decided they want to have a backbone. The challenge with the Girl Scouts is the Girl Scouts have always been kind of they've never. Well, I won't say it's never had. In recent history, it has not been a Christian-based or morals-based organization. It's been more kind of a promotion of feminism type of a group.
Correct. Yeah, but now you got your Boy Scouts, right? Which are not, So that's really one of the big places where it could make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully they'll step up to the plate and start to try and take back some of those values. But we shall see. We shall see. And that takes us to our next story. Border crossers camp out at San Diego Airport. Now, obviously, California being a sanctuary state and San Diego County being, I believe they are a declared sanctuary county. I'm not sure, sanctuary city. Anyway, it's actually very, very interesting that is now what is going on there. Let me pull up the story here. This is being reported over at Fox News. It says here, hundreds of migrants, they call them migrants, I call them illegal border crossers, are living in San Diego Airport as California battles unimaginable homelessness crisis. Hundreds of migrants have taken up residence in the San Diego International Airport with no place to go, as California shelters are filled to capacity with the state's homeless population. Keeping in mind that it's also kind of wintertime out here, which means in San Diego it means it's highs of 65 degrees. Anyway,
Right.
the mayor of
Right.
El Cajon, California, called out state and federal government officials Tuesday for policies burdening his community. California has basically made it completely uncriminal to be homeless in California. And because of that, there's no place in the shelters. There's no places in the hospitals. There's no place for them to go at all. And then you add to this new migrant crisis, things get out of control and people have nowhere to go. Mayor Bill Wells told Fox and Friends. Now here's the thing that I want to know. Now this is the mayor of El Cajon, Mike. Notice that it's not the mayor of San Diego, who is his name is Mr. Todd Gloria, who is a left-wing liberal who's in favor of illegal immigration, who's in favor of California being a sanctuary state.
Okay. So obviously he's not the one they wanted to have on the docket.
No, he's not. Well, my point is the guy from El Cajon. The reason why he's talking is because once again they're dealing with the problem. San Diego's dealing with it as well. The problem is that you can't have Todd Gloria, who advocated for the very programs that are now causing migrants to have to sleep in the airport, because he advocated for the homeless programs, he advocated for the sanctuary state stuff, and now all of a sudden his decisions are coming home to roost. So that's why he dare not criticize the state or the governor, because, well, this is in part his fault.
Yeah, he can't. You're right. He can't very well show up there because then he's the one that's going to be pointing the fingers in the wrong direction, right? He's got to look like he's in lockstep with the policy. Yet if he comes forward as the complainant, then he's not. Then he's on the outside of his own party.
Exactly, man. Dude, it trips me out because I'm like, the people who here's what's interesting. You're starting to see a divide amongst local electeds. The Democrat local electeds who've never served at the federal or the state level, they're coming out and they're like, look, y'all got to deal something with this. Those who are at the local level who used to be in the state legislature or used to be in Washington, D.C. and have advocated for the policies that led to this, they're keeping their mouths shut.
Yeah, they know better, right? You start spouting off, and all of a sudden you're going to be on the wrong side of it. Again, you'll be standing outside your own party. At a very minimum, you're going to be in a fight with your own party.
Yeah, well, when considering the fact that you helped to create the problem, well, hey, that there be how it be. You just gonna have to accept the fact that, well, once again, you're just gonna have to deal with it. And anyway, it's as election season is coming around, you're starting to see more and more local elected Democrats actually step up and get on the right side of this issue. So once again, that's good stuff to see. It's good stuff to hear. I'm just hoping that once again, if those are folks who wind up moving up to the next level, that they don't turn around and start doing the very same stuff or supporting the very same stuff that they've been doing. I mean, the sad part is that I know a number of Democrats who at the local level actually are pretty good on issues, right? Actually
Right.
sound moderately conservative. But then you get them then they move up, and then all of a sudden they lose that reasonableness, that conservativeness that you came to know and like them for when they were in local government.
There you go.
Anyway. So if you're going to San Diego and you find out that there are people camping out there in the airport, now you know why.
But it's such a beautiful place, Craig. How could it happen there?
Well, because California is a paradise, and everyone deserves time in paradise.
Oh yeah, 3 to 5 at a minimum.
Three to five. 3 to 5. There you go. There you go. All right, moving right along. FBI warned of Hunter Biden about Hunter Biden back in 2018. Now, this is another story that is coming to you from Fox News, and they're actually noting. Where's it at here? Here we go. It says here, money laundering investigator. So this is the one who's investigating money laundering. They warned of Hunter Biden's unusual and erratic payments from China all the way back in 2018. So they've known for a while. It says here, a bank investigator responsible for detecting and combating money laundering warned in 2018 of unusual and erratic activity related to more than a dozen wire transfers of large sums of money to accounts belonging to Hunter Biden. In an email released by the House Oversight Committee on Wednesday, a Bank Secrecy Act manager raised concerns that the payments did not appear to correspond to any services rendered, as well as Chinese efforts to target children of politicians. The investigator suggested the bank reevaluate its relationship with the client. The payments from China ultimately funded a $40,000 check to his brother and had been labeled loan repayment, according to the House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, Republican from Kentucky. Comer is co-leading the impeachment inquiry against President Biden and has been investigating the Biden family's business dealings for months. Now, the only question that I have regarding this, Mike, is, okay, so this was in 2018.
Yeah.
He wasn't. People are going to say, well, it was 2018. Joe Biden wasn't president. What's the big deal?
Well, obviously, it's election interference, right? We hide bad news about the president and the president's family. That way, it doesn't take part in your calculations when you're picking who your candidate's going to be.
Well, exactly. Well, part of it is that we don't know how far back those payments go. What if they go back to, I don't know, 2016, while he was vice president?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they go all the way back to 2008 to 2016. It's probably all throughout there. It's just, again, let's lie and confuse the issues. That way you put our candidate in, because if we don't put Joe Biden in, then we'd have to control somebody else.
Well, exactly. And once again, these are people circling the wagons in order to protect Joe Biden. But once again, I'm trying to figure out, if we knew all of this stuff, why is nothing going on? Why is it all of a sudden none of this really been investigated? What is taking them so long to figure all this stuff out?
Because the swamp rats protect themselves. The swamp protects them. That's why.
Well, I agree with that. I know that. I'm just wondering, what's the legitimate reason that they are allowed, or we're allowing them to be able to use to hide that?
There is no legitimate reason. And you just need to stop asking the questions, because they're not going to answer them. That's why a report from 2018 takes until 2023 to come out.
Well, I agree. But I'm going to continue to ask the question, because I want them to demonstrate that they have no answer, because you and I know they don't have an answer. I'm just hoping that reasonable people out there who for some reason seem to keep defending them will recognize that they do not have an answer.
I believe the quote, Craig, is it's in the past. What difference does it make?
Right. Well, it's funny that's what they say when it's one of their guys.
Yep.
But then again, their guys always intend to do good. It's the Republicans who are evil.
Yeah. That's it. Evil.
All right. Interesting side note. Now, D.C., this is Washington, D.C., spent, and I didn't mean for it to be $270. There's supposed to be a K after that. $270,000 to repaint, mind you, Black Lives Matter there on the streets there in Washington, D.C. Let me pull the story up here real quick. Okay, it says here DC spends $270K on repainting BLM Plaza after defunding police. So now they've defunded the police, and now they're going to spend $270,000 in order to repaint that whole BLM thing. Mark there on the thing. It says here Washington, D.C. spent more than $270,000 of taxpayer funds repainting Black Lives Matter Plaza after the Democrat city leadership cut police department's 2023 budget. Wow. So I guess what they're trying to say here, Mike, is that, at least they found a way to pay for repainting BLM Plaza.
Craig, what in the hell kind of paint are they using that it's $270,000 worth of paint to paint a couple letters on the ground? I mean, is this a nuclear reactor paint? Is this space shuttle paint?
Dude,
what is this?
Have you ever seen any sort of contracting that takes place within liberal cities? Oh, trust me.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, you gotta grease some palms. You gotta pay off some people here. It's the reverse of a government discount. Everybody pays more when it comes to government.
There's probably $1,000 worth of paint and $269,000 worth of BS.
The good news, Craig, is
BLMS.
Right. Here you go. The good news is because inflation has slowed, this would have normally been $300,000. So they saved us $30,000 with it was
inflation policies. Up from $200,000 to $270,000 when it would have cost us $300,000.
Correct. See,
if inflation had kept going on the rate, right? Exactly.
It's like shoe math with your wife when she tells you, "You see these shoes? I saved you $100 on them."
Right. I spent thousands to save you hundreds.
There you go.
We've heard that before, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. Break out another 1,000.
Yeah, life does not really work like that. I'm just saying. I don't understand why folks don't get that, but it doesn't really work like that.
Liberal government life works like that. That's how it does work. So
there you go. Liberal government does work like that. Okay, now we're going to move on to our parting shots brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces, just like it is up there or down there, but all caps, no spaces, one word, and get your discount today. Today. Go there now. Right now. Right now.
Right now.
Right now. Right, because rats are fast. So go there right now.
Yep.
All right, this first one is in celebration of the holidays, as you may know. Bidenomics is working. And this is how we celebrate Christmas during Bidenomics.
Aw, how cute. Makes Charlie Brown look like a treasure.
It does. Well, there's a ball hanging on it and the tree's not bending over.
I mean, when a tree's 2 inches tall, I don't know that it can bend over.
Who knows? Anyway. Okay, this next one I came across, and I'm sorry if this offends some of our LGBTQ AI plus, and they keep saying plus because they keep frigging adding letters, but okay. This is a fun one. I kind of like this one right here. This is the guy from Airplane, the movie Airplane, old school movie. Many of you youngsters may not recall it, but very, very fun movie. And he's sweating up a storm. And it says here, me trying to ask the transgender clerk at Best Buy for a male to female USB adapter without smirking.
Surely you must be kidding. I'm not kidding, and don't call me Shirley.
Good stuff. Okay, and this final one. Well, let's just say the KJP, the world's worst press secretary, she is the gift that just keeps on giving.
But why do you think it is that when you say the economy is improving and President Biden says the economy is improving, that a majority of Americans outside of this building are not buying it?
All right, thanks everybody, except Peter Doocy.
I love it. He drops a Doocy on her every day.
He does. And because he's really, I mean, him. Now, I would say the guy Sam from the African newspaper asks serious
Right.
questions, but she never calls on him, so she never lets him actually ask any questions. He would ask serious questions if she would actually call on him.
I think, was it yesterday or today? We got to get the video still. I think she got in a fight with him today or yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, she deserves it because she is just mean and nasty to him. Just period, plain and simple. She is just. Anyway, she's very bad at her job, and she blames everybody but herself for her being bad at her job. Anyway,
Right.
all right, folks. Well, hey, it's about that time for us to say, check out our sponsors.
That's right. Say hello to our good friends at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Now you get rifle and pistol caliber barrels and any length you want for your next AR rifle or pistol build. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. Check out the 6th congressional race while you're there. If you want the best in tactical gear on the market, get on over to uscombatgear.com. And don't forget to give our good friends over at Lion Arms USA a shout. That's Lion Arms USA. Go to Lion_Arms on all those little social media places, and you can find them. Tell them you saw us on the rundown, and get yourself a nice little discount.
Folks, please take a moment, visit our sponsors. They do a phenomenal job of serving their customers and giving us the opportunity to come to you. So help them help us so that we can help you. On that note, we're going to call it a day. It's time for us to go. We will be back tomorrow on, well, thank God it's Friday. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.